Chain of Hearts or Ceropegia Woodii is a gorgeous and popular trailing plant that is fairly easy to propagate from cuttings. In this video I'm going to show you how I propagate this plant for my small nursery and how you too can grow loads of hearts. I only propagate the chain of hearts from spring to summer as it starts going dormant over the cooler months and it is unlikely to root well, if at all. I also let the plants I harvest from get quite big with loads of strings that can get over 1 meter long. In my experience, good quality succulent potting mix is a perfect rooting medium and I propagate all the nursery plants this way. After cutting a whole bunch of strings, I fill pots with potting mix and make a hole in the middle so it's easy to insert the strings. Because I propagate about 200 plants at a time, I start off in small pots and later repot into larger hanging pots. Some of the strings have already started growing roots, and if you want fast results, look for these. The rooting process will be very quick and it is unlikely the cuttings will fail. The chain of hearts is a vine and as you can see it is very easy to get it completely tangled up, and I was being careful here. One long string can be divided many times. Because I want to get as many pots as possible, I make a cut after every set of leaves. One pot will have about 10 short cuttings like this to ensure it is nice and full once new strings start growing. Also, not every cutting will always make it, so it's better to have more. The cut is made just after the leaves and the longer bits will then go into holes we made in the potting mix. You can of course go more than one set of leaves and separate the strings into longer sections, but I don't do it for a number of reasons. 1. I'm trying to get as much from my strings as possible, and 2. It will look heaps better in the long run, which is important to me as I'll be selling these plants at the markets and in my online store. When a cut is made on the string, new growth will develop from the node or where the original leaves are. If a cutting is too long, it will look like there's a bit of a kink in the string. In my opinion, the whole plant will look a lot nicer when the cuttings are as short as possible, albeit it will take a little longer to get longer new strings. If you're planting out a bigger pot, a bunch of 20 or even 30 short cuttings will turn into a super lush growth in about 4 months' time from planting. And here's my first bunch. When these little cuttings get planted, I want to make sure the ends go all the way into the potting mix. To be quite honest, I don't really muck about too much at this stage. Just shove the cuttings in and pat the soil around to secure them. I make sure all the strings go in all the way to the leaf level. The new roots will form at the end of the string as well as at the nodes where the leaves grow. It really does not have to be perfect as the plant will figure it out on its own once new strings come along. They'll hide all the imperfections. And here's the result. After 4 months we have a cute little plant. It is lovely and full at the top with lots of flawless strings and ready to be repotted into a larger hanging pot. Because I planted short cuttings, I avoided kink growth like this. Earlier in the video I mentioned longer cuttings may result in new branches growing out at an angle, and this is what I meant. Although this will eventually get better, to me it doesn't look like something I'd want to sell. This is one of the short cutting pots and you will barely notice the old cutting and the new branch. The 2 larger leaves are from the original cutting. A new branch has shot out at an angle, however you really have to look hard to notice it. It does take a bit longer to get decent sized plants this way, but it's worth it in my opinion. Another bonus is that you can grow loads more plants if you use my method. And who doesn't want chain of hearts plants everywhere? And that's how you can make lots and lots of hearts. For more info you can watch some of our other chain of hearts videos or go to our website succulentgrowingtips.com, where I've written a super long article on everything there is to know about Ceropegia Woodii. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. Thank you very much for watching.